Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, at the beginning, I would like to thank the Secretary General and the government of Germany, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Germany, and members of the Council for providing me with the opportunity to participate in this important debate on sexual violence crimes committed against women across the world. This has become a dangerous phenomenon that requires action from us all. We need to find solutions for this problem. I'm happy today that the Council has selected to discuss this very important issue. When we speak of systematic sexual violence crimes in modern times, we must discuss the actions of ISIL against Yazidi women in Iraq and Syria. ISIL enslaved thousands of Yazidi girls and women before the eyes of the international and local communities. No one interfered to stop them. Genocide against Yazidis continues. The social fabric of an entire society has been torn. The hopes and aspirations of entire generations were wasted. We were prevented from practicing our traditions, and those who survived live in camps that lack the basic means of subsistence. There are dozens of mass graves across our region. Yazidi women were captured and sold as slaves as a weapon against our society. We have failed to protect women and girls from sexual enslavement. We were not able to protect a small minority. We as international community, as people also, must shoulder the responsibility to rescue and free those who are still missing and in captivity since 2014. We have repeatedly demanded that the international community, states and governments established a working group to save Yazidi children and women. But this was to no avail. Our calls fell on deaf ears, and the result was our collective failure. We are well aware that these women are subjected to sexual violence, that they are sold by the supporters of ISIL in Syria and Iraq. Then, what prevents us from saving them? Today, there are thousands of victims and survivors who live in deplorable conditions in displacement camps. They suffered trauma and the impact of sexual violence that they were subjected to. There are some measures that we can use to prevent crimes of sexual violence. However, when we do not prevent such crimes, we must shoulder the responsibility to act accordingly through providing all forms of support to those who face sexual violence. My colleagues, the Yazidi girls and women who were subjected to sexual violence at the hands of ISIL, broke the barrier of silence and stigma and fear, and they told their stories to the world in the hope that this would bring justice to them. It would bring support to them and would urge the international community to put an end to such crime. However, so far, not a single person was tried for sexual enslavement crimes against Yazidis. More than 350,000 Yazidis are still displaced in camps. That is 80% of the Yazidi population in Iraq. After 5 years since the genocide against my people, as the world stood and watched, no serious steps were taken to save the surviving Yazidis. We come to the UN, we deliver statements, but no practical steps are taken that include reconstruction or bringing the perpetrators to justice or returning the victims and displaced to their homes. Hence, we need serious steps on the ground and not just slogans. We were hoping that our testimonies would pave the way for bringing ISIL to justice. However, thousands of ISIL elements are free. Thousands are detained without trial. We come here today and ask that those perpetrators of genocide be brought to justice. They use Yazidi women as a weapon of war, hence they need to be tried before a special court so that they would be tried for the crimes they committed. Bringing elements of ISIL to justice in the framework of an international tribunal that tries them for crimes of genocide and sexual violence against women would send messages to others and prevent such crimes in the future. The adoption of Security Council Resolution 2379, establishing the UN investigative team to promote accountability for crimes committed by ISIL, is a step in the right direction, but it came late. We hope that the Security Council would continue to support UNITAD, Mr. Karim Khan in particular, as they continue to collect evidence. It is also the duty of the Council and the international community to draft a resolution that guarantees full support for the victims of sexual violence, including psychological health and financial support. I thank you.